turns and it goes right into the cup. Hole in one on the first one. So he's pretty happy with himself. The angels in heaven, on the other hand, go to God, and they are beside us. And the angels say, Master of the universe, respectfully, this man ditches the holiest day of the year. He goes to the golf course, and you said you'd take care of it. And he gets up, and he hits a hole-in-one on the first shot. And God turns to the angels, and he smiles. And he says, yeah, but who's he going to tell? Life has a way sometimes of surprising us, often in the most unexpected of ways. Surprises can be joyful sometimes, like the rabbi's hole-in-one, or they can be challenging. They can force us to reconsider our priorities and our values. And it's the way that we respond to moments like that, whether we find humor, meaning, or growth in them, it's our response that ultimately shapes our experience and our character. Navigating unexpected successes and challenges can be a whole life's journey, a whole life's mission. When things are standard, when things are routine, we know how to deal with that. When a big surprise happens, good or bad, that's when it can become a little bit challenging about how do we deal with it? How do we internalize it? How do we act on it? When things are not so good, finding meaning in them, maybe not in the moment, but when you've had a chance to reflect, finding purpose in things that are unplanned. On March 26, 1905, a young man, or a boy at that point, was born in Vienna, Austria. He grew up raised by his parents who were very focused on him having the opportunities and making the most of himself. This young man rose to a promising career as a neurologist, as a psychiatrist, and he specialized in the treatment of depression, suicide prevention. He worked on theories that would one day later become the foundation of something called logotherapy. In 1942, he received the devastating news that he, along with his family and everybody in it, was being deported to the Nazi concentration camps. Him and his family were sent to the camps, later transferred to Auschwitz and other camps, dispersed, broken up, separated from his loved ones, no idea what happened to them. His wife, his parents, his brother, everyone died in the camps. But this person survived. Survival in the camps was not just about the physical strengths he recognized. It was about finding a purpose, something to drive people to endure. He realized that it wasn't the strongest that survived. It was the ones who were motivated by something else in their hearts, their minds, and their souls that kept them going. Those were the ones who made it, and it didn't really have to do much with how strong they were. This person held on to the love he had for his wife and the hope that one day he'd be reunited with her. That was his source of strength. And he realized that even in the face of immense suffering, the ability to choose our attitudes, that was the most powerful form of freedom. This person's name was Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was liberated from the Nazi concentration camps in 1945. He returned to Vienna, and he faced the devastating reality that his entire immediate family, including his wife and his parents and his brother, they were all killed. But Viktor Frankl went on to develop logotherapy. Despite this profound personal loss, he channeled suffering into that work, deepening his exploration into that field. And logotherapy is a therapeutic approach he had been developing before the war, as I mentioned earlier. It's based on the idea that the primary human drive is not pleasure, as Dr. Freud had suggested, and was the most popular opinion at the time, that everyone's driven by pleasure. Specifically, he really liked sexuality. That was what he talked about the most. Viktor Frankl realized it wasn't that, but it was the pursuit of meaning, And that was the foundation of logotherapy. And he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning, drawn from his experience in the concentration camps. Now, he started his work before any of that happened, and he concluded his work after it happened. And he drew on the experiences of the camps when he authored and published this book. That book became a cornerstone of existential psychology, and he remains a well-known and prominent figure, obviously deceased now, in that field. That book was published in many different languages, sold many, many millions of copies, changed many and many lives. People that were coming up in the field of psychology used it, referred to it, and used the contents of it to change countless lives. All from a person who went through a greater hell that any of us can ever imagine. His observations and personal experiences in the camps shaped his understandings that finding meaning in life, even in suffering, is essential to human survival. And the book wasn't just a psychological treatise, but a profound testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Through his writings and his teachings, Viktor Frankl left a lasting legacy, inspiring generations to find purpose and meaning in their own lives, regardless of the circumstances. His work has continued to influence psychology, philosophy, even spiritual thought, proving that from the deepest suffering can come the most powerful lessons on living a meaningful life. Life's circumstances can be unexpected and challenging. Like Frankl, we can choose our response to these situations. It's not the circumstances that define us, but it's the meaning that we derive from them. That's what makes us. And that is the purpose of it, and that's what we can channel it into something greater if we can, when something unexpectedly terrible happens, find meaning in it. Now, nobody's saying in the moment, but the question is, do we take a moment of reflection after it passes? Do we just boil in our upsetness of having lived that experience, or do we channel what we went through and turn it into something better? Turn ourselves into something better. Viktor Frankl taught us that even when all else is stripped away, we all have the freedom to choose our response, to find meaning. We have the freedom to live a life of courage. May this lesson guide us through every twist and turn. May we remember that within every challenge lies the opportunity to grow and to learn, the opportunity to create a life that reflects both our deepest values and our highest aspirations. May we find the courage to face life's unexpected challenges, and may we be blessed with the wisdom to seek meaning in every experience. May we find the resilience to hold on to our values and purpose, and may we be blessed with opportunities for growth and meaning in every situation. May we discover the power of our inner freedom, and may we be blessed with the resolve to channel it into a life filled with purpose and faith, meaning and compassion. Just as Viktor Frankl found meaning in the most unimaginable of circumstances, may we too find the strength and the wisdom and the courage to navigate life's challenges with purpose. And now let us say, Amen.